Jim says, guys, thanks for taking my question. I'm a 50-year-old small business owner from New Hampshire seeking an exit strategy for my business and retirement in about 10 years. As doing so, I am a finance podcast junkie, which is how I landed on your show, and I believe you guys are the best to do it, so thanks for all you do. We have a high school senior who is no longer wanting to go to college. He says he'd like to work for the family business and maybe one day take it over. We've saved up almost $100,000 in a 529 plan for him. We'd like to use that money and invest it in the stock market on his behalf to help him build his base. As of right now, he has about $15,000 in a Roth IRA, which has been fully funded every year. Started that a couple years ago. When he comes to work for the company full time, he will put 10% of his income into the Roth 401k, company match, all the good stuff. So we'll plan to leave about $7,500 in the 529 plan for maybe a small business or local community college course he wants to take at night while working full time. But after paying taxes at my son's rate and that 10% penalty on the gains, he'll be left with about $85,000 to invest. After listening to your suggestions and doing some research myself, we plan to put 60% of that into VTI, 30% into QQQ, and 10% into Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on the allocation and if you would do the same thing if you were in our shoes? So Robert, I'll kick this one off. So just to make sure we're on the same page, right? The 529 plan is a college savings account that essentially you can deposit money into, have normally some sort of tax write-off when you deposit money into it. That money then gets invested and then grows for you over time. And once it grows, you're now able to spend those investment profits on tuition, books, trade school, anything related to education, right? So it's a way for you to have some nice tax advantages for the contributions and spend those investment profits on education. So like literally no taxes. It's like positive from a tax perspective here. But what you're saying is, hey, we got 100K in here and we don't want to spend it on education, which means that's fine. You are now able to take that money out, but you do have to pay a penalty on the gains. So let's walk through that, Robert. You can withdraw your contributions completely tax-free, penalty-free. Everything's fine from that perspective. So Jim, make sure you're doing that if you decide to do this withdrawal, and to just remember that you're only paying taxes and penalties on that gain that's being made. So if you do plan to do that, one, I would somehow try and strategically take the money out when my son is having a low, taxable income year. Maybe he's not making that much yet with the family business. So, this will count toward his taxes, making him, be in a lower tax bracket. So just be cognizant of what those tax brackets look like and try and spread it out over a period of time that make most sense to you guys. What's really interesting about the 529 plan is you are able to change the beneficiary of the plan pretty much at any time. And that then allows that new beneficiary to enjoy those investment profits and be spent how they want. So like even our friend Jim here, if he wants to be the beneficiary and have some of this money paid toward him to learn how to paint or something fun for his own retirement, right? He could do that. Or maybe you got some nieces and nephews, or maybe you want to do something for the grandchildren that haven't been born yet, right? There's a lot of different ways that if you wanted to just take out the contributions tax-free and penalty-free and invest that, rock and roll. But if you want to keep those profits in the account, so then that money can now be given to someone else if it's a grandchild that's not around yet, or maybe a niece or a nephew or brother or sister, or even you, Jim, or maybe your wife. Like there's a lot of different ways where you can do this where taxes and penalties aren't a part of the equation and you're still enjoying a lot of the money.
I love that breakdown, and I'm really on the fence on this. Part of me wants to say, Jim, just take out the contributions, invest those. I love the ideas of what you want to invest in and the weighting. And then part of me says it's 10%. Take it all out, get it invested, because you're going to outperform probably with these investments and be able to make that 10% back pretty quickly. So I'm kind of on the fence on this, but I think either way works. But I'm leaning towards agreeing with you, Austin, that maybe they just take out the contributions, get those invested, leave the gains in there so there's no penalties, there's none of that. It just keeps growing and growing, because down the road, there might be another solution of where this money goes by switching out the beneficiary or something like that. So I think it's a great position to be in. I would probably take out the contributions and reinvest them and leave the rest and avoid the penalty. But either way, I think is fine.
Yeah, I think that's a cool way to help Jim's son here build his base more quickly, right? Take out those contributions, penalty and tax free. Ensure that Jim's son is now investing those tens of thousands of dollars, right? And then you're rocking and rolling toward building your base. Jim, your son will be a net worth millionaire by the end of his career, I'm sure. And you're doing a really cool thing as a father. So love the breakdown. And it seems like you guys are in a pretty cool situation. And yes, the allocation of 60, 30, 10, perfect. Rock and roll.